So yeah, so thank you, Jiva, for introducing me. So I'm Paul Soliman. I'm from the Philippines, and I'm one of the MVP for business applications. Um, I'm also a co-founder of two companies here. I'm CEO of Active and the CTO of Raven Global Ventures. I also lead the I'm also co-leading the BizApps and Power Platform for the Philippines and also on the APAC level, together with these brilliant guys in Singapore, in Malaysia, in Indonesia, in Thailand, in India, and other part of the region. So yeah, so what I'm gonna be discussing today, the ultimately the goal of my session is really to empower the citizen developers in terms of like using Teams, Power Automate, and Adaptive Guard. As I did my session before for our first online meetup, what I've created is a simple login logout timesheet for using Teams and Power Automate. So right now I'm gonna like do some icing on cake in terms of like we reuse as a UI or UX inside Microsoft Teams without using Power Apps. And for me, that's gonna be Adaptive Guard. So, just want to intro this. So, I think you saw this news about Satya Nadella mentioning 2 years of digital transformation in 2 months, and that's very, very true and accurate because even here in the Philippines, there's a lot of like clients and also not even Microsoft customer, even other collaboration application customers are really doing their work from home and online, and it's really a worth of like 2 years because of what COVID did or the pandemic did. Now the reason why we're doing that is because we're in the world that the technology is really helping the human evolution. Million years ago we evolved, and as of today I really love what's happening in terms of tech because even Microsoft is democratizing everything for us to evolve as humans in terms of technology. So there's a lot to talk about technology and other new things that is coming soon. Now I'm just gonna give you some vision that I'm envisioning for like 2022. So this is my personal program that I'm gonna work with the community. So this is bot assist for all. So if we want to accelerate the world and also our community, so we need to, before I was pitching about cloud computing, SaaS, cloud accounting. So no one is really like getting it. 2015, 2014, 2015, 2016, everyone is on premise. They don't want to move on cloud, even on Office 365. But now when this pandemic hits, our 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 work became impacted by these changes and shift. Now, what we're seeing because of AI and also machine learning and other things about that, are tools for us to be able to achieve more or to produce more are also being or are also evolving. So right now you can consume bots, you can consume RPAs, you can consume mobile designer, mobile app development using a democratized tool, which is Power Platform. And so I know Business Central, I know Dynamics 365, but when I saw Power Platform, for me because I'm now running two companies, I really not have this time to really do coding or extreme coding or hard coding, if you may, anymore because of lack of time. But thanks to these tools that I was able to like go back to my passion and connect other business application for me to manipulate and to create a solution, all right, specific for the need of my organization. So if you want to accelerate it, so the vision is very simple. It's a basic scheduling, collecting data, and answering messages. So I think on 2022, every citizen developers not only citizen developers, but also if you're a practitioner enthusiast, we should have at least our own bots, and that would accelerate it. So now, how are we going to do that? So for me, it's very simple step. You just need to learn Power Automate, learn Adaptive Card that I'm going to be discussing now for citizen developers. If you want to upgrade it, go to Virtual Agent and learn AI Builder. In 2 weeks, you can already connect those to your front end. So this vision of like creating an assistant for us is gonna be easy because of the tools that we will be discussing, and also some other presentation before me are very crucial in terms of like getting data, getting insight. Whatever your customer is doing is very important. Now, how do you now capture those data, and how do you now create an actionable insight for your customer? So this is let's start. So the objective of this session is to like I'm gonna be discussing about adaptive card. Let you be familiar with that. To use adaptive card for Microsoft Teams, it's very easy, but it's on preview mode. So there's a lot of also development happening on the back end. I even talked to the Microsoft guys for this one. And to use Teams and Power Automate and adaptive card in one process. So I will be giving some scenarios. How can you utilize it? Why adaptive card? So number one, it's portable to any app, device, and UI framework. So adaptive card, I'll show you the site later. The designer is also there. It's really adaptable, meaning you don't need to, or it doesn't fit only. All right, it doesn't fit only on Teams or in Microsoft platform or a stack, but it you can use that to any open source platform that you have, even a web application, a progressive web app, a mobile app. Adaptive card is very fitted for that particular UI or UX. It's open, so later I'll show you the libraries and schema. It's open source and can be shared. Props to Microsoft for doing that, because right now there's a lot of like people like me who's creating template for the adaptive card. It's easy to customize. I mean, I will be focusing more on the no code level of that, but I will be like showing some JSON later. It's easy, and it can be automatically styled, meaning whatever platform you're having, or even cross-platform, or whatever kind of development tools or a host that you're gonna be using, it can adapt to it. So that's why it's adaptive card. All right. So perfect combination. So you have Microsoft Teams. For me, this is it. You have Microsoft Teams. Um, you have the flow or the Power Automate for you to be able to route the data or use adaptive card, all right, to manipulate the logic and coming from other sources and pushing that data to also other targets. So something like this. So a user will log in Teams, and now I will using Microsoft Flow or using Power Automate. I'm gonna show the UI and the UX using adaptive card. And next, I will manipulate the logic for me to be able to get data and to also post data using my Microsoft Flow. And for data source, you can even pick whatever data source is available from Microsoft Flow, or sorry, on Power Automate connectors. So there's a lot: CDS, Dynamics 365, third party like Smartsheet, SAP. So it depends on you. So I'm gonna do like 3 demos for today. So from embedded adaptive card, I'm just gonna show it quickly because there are some like back-end changes that Microsoft is doing, but I'm gonna be more focusing on the designer that you can consume without even logging in. All right, so let me go there. Okay, can you see now my screen? So I'm showing now my if you don't see my browser, then you can like tell me that you don't see my browser, because this is gonna be the demo. I'm gonna using my browser to do a demo. So
We can see
if
it, Paul.
there you go, thank you. So if you can see it now, I'm now in my adaptive cards site, which you can browse actually without even logging. So it's adaptivecards.io. So there are samples here that you can actually use already. So let me show you some sample. It's a flight update here. It's a food ordering sample. There you go. You can choose chicken, tofu, whatever. So you can also show image gallery. All right. What's the difference between the normal flowbot between adaptive card is this one can render other things like image input form or something like that. That flowbot, the normal flowbot in Teams cannot do. So what else? Favorite. This is my favorite because um, you can already consume this without even doing some major changes on it. If you want a more progressive inputs or complex inputs, you can use this template. So just go here, adaptive cards io.samples. You can also do a restaurant information here and whatever. So there's a lot here. Even this is very important. Even this one, the expense report sample. So imagine how much data you can put inside and you can get using adaptive card. Okay, so let me go to my demo. So first one, I'm gonna show you how to create an input and data collections. So to do that, you go to the designer. Okay, you can there and try to manipulate it. Okay, you can get this one and you can just try it yourself. So for you to see all the samples, all the elements, and all the payload for JSON. All right. So I don't need to code. I just need to do a drag and drop. Then I'll show it to you later. So for this one, this is the title. All right. So title is a text block. Okay. So text block meaning you can show any data here. You can type later. I can put dynamic content on it. It doesn't need an ID, so you can pass that because it's not gonna be a variable. Um, just gonna show a text. Say for example, hi. So you can just put it there because what I want to do is to put dynamic content there later, and body is like please. This is just a test. Okay, and then here just gonna delete something like this. I just want to show you that I will get data because I prepared something that is already um, created. So placeholder, I'm gonna just get one placeholder here. Okay, let me just show this text. Let's say for example, well, sorry, I want to get the display name for the username, and then just this one is gonna be the ID. So you need to have this because um, you need to put something so you will be able to path your dynamic contents later or even the expressions later. So you need to need this, and I don't want that. I just want text and submit. So you can see it generated a code. So here you can see everything that I've created without, I mean, editing this payload. So I just need to copy this, okay, and go to my, sorry, and go to my flow and create something. So it's creating now. Right. So let's say, sorry, is anyone asking question or something? So I go from instant manually trigger a flow, and I said this is BizApp test and create. Okay, sorry. Wait, because I want this is an input form. Um, is this an input text? Let me check. Okay, this is an input text. There you go. So submit is also there. Let me copy it again. Double checking and a new step. So now I'm in my flow. If you go to this Microsoft Teams action, you can see a lot of like action that you can use. So right now, what we need to do is to find the post your own adaptive card, which is this one, post your own adaptive card as the flow bot to a channel or to a user. But what I'm going to do now, because I need a response, is I need this one. Post an adaptive card to a Teams channel and wait for response, or post adaptive card to a user. Let me find that one. Where is that? There you go. Post an adaptive card to a team user and wait for a response. So when I click that, it will, I'll just get the email of the one who's triggering the flow. Here doesn't matter. Now this what matters. I copy paste that, so it will be something like this. And as you can see also in my message box, that the JSON was copied, and I can technically easily manipulate this later when I want to show something or to be chat to my teams. All right. So I will not do something because I just want you to see that I can capture data using adaptive card and Microsoft Teams. Let me just uh, this one. So there you go. So the updated message is what do you want your user to see if they finish answering the form? Let's say thank you for submitting your username. And then do you want to show the updated card? I said yes. And there is an alert here. Summary is the Flowbot name. So say bot capture. So is alert. It's gonna be on the activity feed on Microsoft Teams. Yes, you can do that. So it will be alerted. And press save. Okay, it's saving now. And then I can test it. I'll perform the trigger action. So hoping that there is no error. It signs in my Microsoft Teams. There you go. And done. Oh, it fails. Why? Oh, sorry. Okay. So I think wait, let me delete this one because I have this, and let me delete this one. Sorry, I did not delete some of that. Again, I'll just need to copy paste back it to my flow and post it again. Let me see if this is gonna run. If in case I have already created something that is running, I can show it to you later after this. And then run it. Done. There you go. So it waits for my response because this is what the job of this specific action is, to wait until I respond to a Microsoft Teams. So this is what I created. This is what the adaptive card looks like. So I did not place a placeholder or input a placeholder, but you can do that. You can also bold this and put image, but for this session, so I can demo everything, I'm just gonna be doing this faster. Let's say my username is Paul.Soliman. So it's not true. There you go. So thank you for submitting your username, blah 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 blah. Now, when I go here to see my return value for the particular submit, I should see it here. It's just loading. There you go. So the display name is Paul Suleiman. Now, the good thing with that is if you can see the body, all right, of my JSON, so you can see that I actually press submit and I get the data automatically without really configuring this JSON data. Sorry, this JSON action. So you can see the data that I get is Paul Suleiman. Now, how does it work if you want to post this to post that on something like a SharePoint or Dynamics 365? Now, I've created something here. This is the filling card. So the role of this flow is to for me to get the fillings of my developers, because I'm leading a group of developers now. We're developing an app, so I want to get the feelings or the emotion of that developer every day when they're doing a specific task. And it's you can try that. It's very helpful because emotion drives productivity as well. So before I go to the scrum meeting and something like that, I will ask them to input or to like create a weekly reports what they feel about last week. And then by that I can address the issue. It's very important if you're working from home because you can see you will not be able to see your staff or your developers while they're working from home. So you need the better capturing mechanism for you to be able to make decision faster. Like, am I gonna extend this time or this deadline because my developer doesn't have an internet and is very stressed, something like that. So you can use this action. Now, if I paste this in my designer or in the designer, this is magic actually, and you can see that it changed, right? So it's gonna like this is a dynamic content actually. Then what I did is I just put the choice set. So do something like and what are you going to do today? It's a text only, and this one is an input element that I can get whatever this task or action or activity he wants to do for a particular day. So when I run this, it goes like this. Sorry, there you go. Sorry for that. Uh-huh. So I have a SharePoint here, and so I'll explain later why I needed this. So I use an expression for me to be able to get it. I have the video that I watched. It's from Audie Gordon, one of the product manager of Power Automate. Unfortunately, there are bugs. That's why it's in preview. That's supposed to be you can use this ID or this data coming from the coming from the adaptive card form, and posting it or using it to any action or even update action like in SharePoint. But my problem is I think my version has a bug, and I really found a way how to troubleshoot it. I'm gonna share my the link of how you troubleshoot it later. It's in my presentation. So how does it like? So technically in my SharePoint, I want to create an item. By the way, this is it. This is the SharePoint list, the filling list that I created. All right. So it should add up there. I just tested it, and okay, what it will do is it will get the data of the fillings ID, which is here. So Feelings ID is a choice. So whatever data I pick as a user, that data would be returned. And also this one, the input text, which is my task. And date is just a current date. I just use that for me to be able to date. But it doesn't depend on the adaptive card because this is just an action here on my manual trigger flow command. So let me test this now. Okay, let me run this. So it's supposed to run very well. There you go. Uh, Sorry, a bit of slow, but I see it here now. So there. So how? Sorry for this one. You can pick other URL. You can just copy paste. It doesn't matter. It's really URL that now accept that. It's supposed to be the smiley button that I've created here, but I think there's a problem with my URL that I'm using. But it doesn't matter. It's okay. So how do you feel today? So I will say that I'm happy because doing an iOS patch. There you go. Then press submit. It will go here and it will submit that. Let me go to my flow and see the run history. It's running now. So it runs successfully. You can see the return value that I've posted. Just gonna show it here. So what does it do? Technically it gets everything that I. So this is very important, this one. So when I press submit button, it gets the Feelings ID and also my task. This is exactly what I input in my chat or in my adaptive card capture, and it went to my SharePoint as something like this. Okay, all right. So what bug am I talking about? So I'm gonna show you the bugs. So I'm gonna create something like this so I will not break uh my whole flow or power or my automation. So let's say I want to do an Outlook, send an email. So here supposed to be I should get the dynamic content, but I can't. So because again, as mentioned, Microsoft still fixing those kind of things, but some other version, I don't know because we don't see the version, right? They're saying if you enable the experimental view here, it sometimes it might break it, but I'll show you later when I enable that. It will show me the embedded designer. I don't need to go to this designer, but later I'll show that. Okay, so that's how you create a capturing adaptive card. Now is I'm gonna show you how to create a display only card. So display only is just like returning values, all right? Returning values to in my designer, I'll go back to my designer again. So I just created something also there. All right. This is what I don't want to see. All right, there you go. So what I want to do, I have one SharePoint list here that I've been doing. You know what? The last session, I tried to like do a simple login log out, and what I want to do today is to just project as a as a as a as an employee or as a staff. What I want to do is to return the value or get my timesheet record for the day. That's the only thing I want to do now. So I created this flow. So what it will do is, of course, I need to get my SharePoint items, and I will do like OData filter just for me to filter the, of course, who's triggering the flow and the timesheet date. It's a is an input here, so I can filter what timesheet I want to see, and I just put dynamic content. This one I did not arrange, so you can format the time. So usually in SharePoint, the default is date time or the timestamp, but you can format that using format time value expression. And as you can see also here that I input something. So for me to be able to go to that URL, so and filter the employee name so I can see the timesheet for me and not the timesheet of anyone. It will go something like this. So technically, this is a fact set. So a fact set is a set of facts, and you can add new facts here. The good thing about this is you don't need to do it one by one. So if you want to like get a table or a data that you want to be structured, it's better that you use fact set. And again, as mentioned, I just demoed it a while ago on my previous demo, that this one just captures the text, but you can put dynamic content on that. And this is the timesheet that has also a trigger by date, which is the dynamic content as well. So if I run that, sorry, I'm gonna run it here because I want you to see that that will prompt me for a timesheet date. So by the way, you can run Microsoft Flow in Teams. You just need to install the app of Flow here using this apps browsing capability of Microsoft Teams. You can also do Power Apps there later. Sorry, not this flows. So I go to this one, then press the run button. Then I want to get yesterday's timesheet of mine. Then run. Should chat me. There you go. It says here on my chat window. Um, so see, because I did not format this. So this is your timesheet for 2020-0501. And then when I press see more, it will go to my SharePoint. And it will filter every timesheet that I have for myself. Okay, so that's how you show the data. Now, as much as I want to demo this, but this is very crucial because I think Microsoft is still doing something for it, and I'm not I'm not really recommending you to use this. You still go to this designer and copy paste something here because some of the function of the embedded design is not that really working. So this is what I'm talking about. So again, gonna go back to the teams and okay. So again, get my user email, a message. Oops, supposed to do the experimental. No, it's not working. Wait, that's what I'm talking about. It's supposed to give me that experimental view. There we go. So whatever I pick here, there you go. So when I press create an adaptive card, it will go here. It's the same that I have with my designer. The only sorry. Let me go back to my screen. Accidentally pressed the stop presenting button. So you can see also whatever you want, you can do here. You can also do it here in the embedded designer. The only problem is there's a lot of not a lot, but there are bugs here that of course you need to do troubleshooting if you use this. It's still safe to use this adaptive card designer and just copy pasting this one to your Microsoft Flow. So, so you can explore some samples here and template. It's up to you. So for me, again, it's better that you explore and also try it, try every sample here. It's gonna be so impactful, and you can also do here and press this button. There's also documentation samples there that you can use for you to be able to utilize the adaptive card using Microsoft Flow. It's here. So it's a heck of a topic. It's there. I mean, Microsoft put emphasis on this one. So because for me this is the future of UI. Sorry for power apps. No, I'm just kidding. I still love power apps, but if you want a quick UI input form and showing some data, then you can use Teams and adaptive card. So there you go. As I mentioned, there is a known issue. So you can read that for you to be able not to to prepare for that kind of issue, because it's gonna be a lot of time if you will troubleshoot by yourself. And all right, so for some troubleshooting video that you can do for if the dynamic content is not showing after you use the adaptive cards in Teams, you can see the link here. I'm gonna put that in the message box after. So yeah, so there's a lot of like scenarios that you can use adaptive cards, like updating an opportunity from Teams to Dynamics 365. I'm gonna post a blog on that as well. I'm just having a hard time to create trials today. I think because of this COVID situation, it's hard to create a Dynamics 365 trial. You can do updating tickets from Teams to Dynamics 365. Now, the good thing with this is you don't need to train, all right? You don't need to train your salespeople or like the engineering team for them to go to Dynamics 365 and explore all the buttons and all the functions there. What you need to do is just to create a simple form that can actually capture data from Teams. It will be designed by adaptive card, and all the data goes to Dynamics 365 by using Flow and approval workflow and many more. So there's a lot of like sample that the MVPs are already posted or were already posted on YouTube and also on their blog sites. I'm still exploring this one, and I think this is gonna be big. All right, count like 3 months to 6 months. Microsoft is really pushing this tool that they made for us to be able to use to create UI and UX more simpler. And tips for solutioning, as I always say, is you need to do empathic listening for your customers. You don't need to create power apps quickly or create power apps defaultly. But what you need to do is to listen to them. Maybe they just need an input form that they can use. All right, so just use adaptive card or even Teams or forms. Do not over engineer it. All right, meaning don't just like put AI builder functionality or whatever. Just get the um, exact need of the client first. Don't yet customize. If you can use the standard functionality, let's say for D365, then that's fine. Just go with that path. And I'm encouraging also the citizen developers, enthusiasts, the pro developers to explore these new methods. Or if you join the Azure bootcamp, there's a lot of also new features that Azure is going to be releasing. Then I'm encouraging you learn those things, learn those new things, like 1 hour a day or even 4 hours a week, for you to be able to, you don't know that there is the answer, that that solution is the answer to your problem, even with like implementing Dynamics 365. So please test and the new methods and try to deploy it by yourself. Um, Again, I think that was my last slide, and this one I'm gonna post it to the message box. So thank you. So we need feedback, of course, for us to be able to grow our community and to grow our the Dynamics community and BizApp community and Power Platform community around the world. So we value your feedback. And yeah, so thank you for giving me this opportunity to share a simple and a quick demo of Adaptive Card.
Thanks, Paul. Sorry, can you mute yourself? Paul, that's really insightful. I can see possibilities are endless using adaptive card. So we have some questions here. One from Kyra.
All right.
What is the difference between RPA and Power Automate? Does it complement each other, or is it used differently?
Okay. Yeah, good question. So Power Automate is the whole stack for us to be able to like manipulate logic, connect every third-party application, utilize the data or integrate the data with each other using CDS or something like that. And RPA is just one feature of Power Automate. RPA is called UI Flow. So I'm gonna type that here. So UI Flow is a feature of Power Automate that does the robotics process automation that manipulates your even your physical desktop and also your web app and web browser. So RPA for me is a method, it's a process, but not a technology. So the holistic technology. I mean, if even if I'm not using UI Flow, it's still considered as robotic process automation. If I process a repetitive task and also I process a lot of data like manipulating CRM records without any intervention from humans or from my staff. So UI Flow, you can use UI Flow to fully utilize the RPA functionality of Power Automate. So that's the difference.
Thanks, Paul. And another one from Raja. This flow bot can be configured inside specific team channel only. Does it mean to
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Does it mean
Thank
to
you for the
notify and get information from specific team?
Yeah, thank you for that information. So right now in Teams, the Flowbot is posting to two different method. Number one, it can be posted to a channel, to a Teams channel. Number two, it can be posted to a user, to targeted user that you want. User, when I say user, it's the chat, it's the personal chat box of a user. On a Teams channel, it can be also posted. So you don't need to even use adaptive card for that. So if you go to the Teams action in Power Automate, you can see even the simple flow bot that can post to different channels and also to a single chat box.
Okay, last one from Robin. Is adaptive card the override? I mean, update the value entered previously.
Oh yeah. So does this
Sorry.
allow the values to over? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question is the adaptive card the new Power Apps from specifically for Canvas app?
Uh, is adaptive card? No. So adaptive card, as I mentioned, is a open source tool that you can use for let me share my screen again. So there's a lot of use. So if you will see here the select host app actionable Outlook actionable message, Cortana Windows base or whatever, as long as that particular host or framework can use JSON to render UI, then you can use this. So it's not only for Power Platform or even Power Apps.
Okay, thanks, Paul. I think that's it for now. Everyone have any other questions? Please just let give it in the chat, and we will get back to you.